If any of you have ever owned or used a .info site, you can thank our next speaker. Chairman of Afilias, Philippe Grabensing.
Good evening. Good evening. After that pretty cool video with all those internet and ICANN celebrities, it's probably a pretty tough job for me to add something meaningful to that. Especially with beautiful music in the background as well. And so anyway, I tried. Also, I'm now number 5 or 6, adding something positive, very positive. But I even so, bears in danger that I repeat myself a little bit. But I think 5 years of regional at large organizations, half of the time of ICANN at large. That's definitely a great success story, and I think you all can take very much pride in what you have done and what you have achieved, and I'm very honored to make a few very quick remarks to that very distinguished group here. The question is, and remains and will remain, who are the users you're representing? And I remember a discussion I had a long time ago with the former German GAC representatives who made it pretty easy. He said, the user, everybody, who is somehow, involved with the internet is a user, and so all citizens are the users, and the citizens are represented by the government, and the government is elected in a democratic way, so they need no other representation. Sounds first, somehow rational. However, there's three issues. No, I'm not following that road expression here, no. Anyway, no, but there are problems with it. First of all, not all governments are democratic. And then sometimes, I think even in democratic governments, the administrative arm of the government, which is involved in, ICANN process, multi-stakeholder process, seems to be sometimes, depending on governments, but seems to be depending on times, but seems to be sometimes very far away from the users. So I think there's a very important role you play, and you have to play. It's not just, I think you cannot just leave it to the governments, who represent their citizens and in the GAC and wherever. So I think the role you play is so important and so essential, and I think the success speaks for itself. So, but, broader representation is of course always, more legitimacy, more representation is of course always a challenge, and I think you still have the opportunity to grow. I think 160 organizations at the summit 2009, that's great, but I think what the speaker said before, if we can do a very little small humble to support on your way to even increase that success model, we would be very honored to. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Our last speaker from industry actually represents our host here. It's from Cira, the .ca registry for Canada. I only heard from one Canadian in the room. Where are the rest of the Canadians? Paul Anderson, the chairman of the board.
Thank you very much for that. How to follow, I'll try and add something. I'm pleased to first put that so you can, I think you can hear me better now. I'm pleased to welcome you, the North American Regional At-Large Organizations, as the host organization to ICANN 45, and welcome you to Toronto, my home city. It's where I was born and raised, and it's still my hometown, so I do hope you will enjoy your time here. As one of the 5 regional at-large organizations, I know RALO brings the essential user community to the voice, to ICANN's activity, and Cira is very happy to help sponsor a portion of the event tonight. I've been asked to talk a little bit about what Cira does and the responsibility of running a country code top-level domain. Generally, this would take, I could talk at great length, but I've asked to condense it, and I'm also being told I'm speaking too fast, so I have to slow down. So I'll try and keep it short, and I know I'm also one of the last speakers between you and drinks and entertainment. CCTLDs are really a unique entity in the ICANN community. We know much of the attention these days is about new GTLDs, and the majority of which are held by private sector. But CCTLDs like .ca are primarily run for not-for-profits, and in .ca's case is in the public interest. A lot of what we do, we are a technical organization, but we are also heavily involved in influencing internet policy at the highest levels. And we operate as an entity that, as best we can, that tries to take an objective and neutral look at the current state of affairs, both domestically and globally, and try and be a neutral voice. CCTLDs generally represent a geographic region, and therefore their work focuses on the issues important to that particular region. Of course, our case, it's Canada, and we like to represent Canada's online identity. So fundamentally, Cira, we have been trusted as stewards of .ca, and we have 3 roles. First two are fairly easy. We run the registry, we operate the underlying DNS, the critical infrastructure, and the third one is we try and fulfill a public mandate role in Canada. So we got this mandate from the Canadian government, specifically from Industry Canada, which is the department responsible for telecommunications online economy.
By the way.
And the first two are fairly easy. With channel partners, we register .ca domain names, and we ensure people are able to resolve sites. And we try and do this in a competitive and efficient manner. Because even though we are a not-for-profit, we do operate in a competitive landscape. Phillips Company is pushing .info, there's .com, and one of our goals is, that we feel fulfills a public mandate, is to be the preferred choice of Canadians. So we have to be aware of that, and we try and always operate in the most competitive and efficient manner we can. The third role, or in our mandate, is a little less straightforward, but we feel one of them very important, and that's to give back to the Canadian internet community. Our work in this regard is to enhance the Canadian online experience. We've done that in a number of ways. We manage the .ca Impact Awards. It's a very successful program where we try and celebrate .ca websites that make a positive impact on our community. We also support organizations like MediaSmarts, a Canadian organization dedicated to enhancing media and digital literacy among youth. With MediaSmarts, we have already released a series of cybersecurity tip sheets, and we are working with them on a research project called Young Canadians in a Wired World. It's also to this role we try and speak with Canadians about how they would like to see the internet develop. We hold an annual event called the Canadian Internet Forum. It's an annual discussion with Canadians about the importance of internet-related issues that are important to them. Through these discussions, that form of work, we produce a white paper annually, which is presented to the annual Internet Governance Forum, which I'm sure most of you are familiar with. We also try and represent the interests of our .ca members at various Internet Government Fora, including ICANN. Our CEO is a vice chair of the CCNSO, and has also been involved in mechanisms to look at the various funding that CCTLDs and other organizations should be funding ICANN. CCTLD community plays a key role through the CCNSO in advising and providing direction to the ICANN board based on the unique needs of CCTLDs and their respective communities. And we're also pleased to host this ICANN meeting. Acting in the public interest is an item the organization has struggled almost since its inception over 10 years ago, and something we continue to struggle today. Trying to find a balance, both at the board, at our board, in the organization, to find what's the best way that we can help the internet community without losing our neutral voice can lead to a very large number of vivid discussions, both inside the organization and with our stakeholders, working with stakeholders, identifying them, but we're really proud with what we've been able to do in the last few years. With that said, I'd like to reiterate on behalf of the host, a welcome to ICANN 45 in Toronto. As the entity that represents the user community, we believe that RALO is a key player in ICANN's ecosystem. The voice you bring to meetings like this is irreplaceable and demonstrates the beauty and importance of the multi-stakeholder model. I think it behooves all of us to act as ambassadors for this model in order to ensure our voices continue to be heard in the ongoing development of the internet. So I hope your meetings are very productive and stimulating, and I hope you do have a little bit of time to escape and enjoy the city of Toronto. And with that, thank you for your time. Enjoy.
All right, our very last speaker is somebody I speak to on a weekly basis and email multiple times during the day, but the always helpful Chair of ALAC, Olivier Crépin-Lebon.
Thank you very much, Garth. I think we're kind of running a little bit behind, so I had a whole speech about how the RALOs were created and how at-large structures get somehow certified and are able to join us, but I think I'll cut this one short. Just to say there is a process, and yes, I have to go slowly for the interpreters. There is a process by which at-large structures are certified. It's quite an involved process which has all sorts of due diligence going on and consultation with the members of the RALO already. The process is complex, and the memorandum of the RALOs that the RALOs actually signed was very complex as well. The thing though is, I've been asked recently, how was all this designed? You know, did ICANN staff do it for you? Did you have lawyers that did it for you? Actually, we had some lawyers do it for us, and they were members. It's the community itself building its own systems, its own processes from scratch, and this is what is pretty incredible. The sort of self-building for themselves. Anyway, without going through the whole thing, we've got a few people that were around when the RALOs were invented 5 years ago, when they were all created. And a few of them survived. So today we're honoring the few that are surviving, that have survived the first 5 years. We're hoping we will see them 5 years from now. But in case we don't, we're going to give them a certificate of appreciation, and hopefully we'll be able to give them something a bit more consistent next time we see them 5 years from now. So first for AFRALO. Now AFRALO has always been a pioneer, and I know the African community here has been a real pioneer. I'm going to read through the list. Not all of them managed to make it, but we have Didier Cazol from the Internet Society, Democratic Republic of Congo, Khaled Kouba, Tunisian Internet Society, Abdelrahim Jamari from ISOC Morocco, Mohamed El Bashir from the Sudan Internet Society, Hawa Diakita from ISOC Mali, Calvin Brown from ISOC South Africa, Yaoubi Atohoun from ISOC Benin, Baudouin Chambé from Centre Africain d'Échange Culturel, and Alois Simon Menda from Journalist Unions for Science and Technology Advancement in Africa, Justa Africa. So here we have Hawa and Yaoubi. Yeah. Well done. And Yaoubi, please. Yeah. And are we doing the pictures afterwards, or yeah?
Pictures. They told me there was a photo of it. The
And I realize this part is the only thing that will stop you to have food later on, so we have to do it fast. Okay, so APRALO, the Asia Pacific Regional At-Large Organization. I'm going to read the names again. Cheryl Langdon-Orr, haven't seen her recently. The Internet Society of Australia.
For the transcript record.
For the transcript record, you missed the part, yeah. Izumi Aizu from the Internet Users Network. Leslie Allenson, ISOC Pacific Islands. Bilal Biraim, Arab Knowledge and Management Society. Edmund Chung from the Internet Society Hong Kong. David Farrar from Internet NZ. Karataina Tairu, Atoaora Maori Internet Organization, and I managed to say this one. And J. William Samich, Internet User Society from Niue. So, first, Cheryl Langdon-Orr.
I'm not the only one that survived. It's just not everyone got their Everyone else as yellow as the big bird.
Smile, here we go.
Okay, they never told me it was going to be so much work. All right, now I see some names I know here. RALO, European at-large organization. Timo Kiranwo, Suomen Internet. And the next, IHDISTYS. Anybody from Finland will be able to tell us this. ISOC Finland, actually, that's the easy way. Dragoslava Pefeva, Internet Society Bulgaria. Wolfgang Kleinwächter, Medienstadt Leipzig. Rudi Vensnik, Internet Society Belgium. Patrick van der Velle, Internet Society Luxembourg. Sébastien Bachelet, I know that name. Chapitre Français, Internet Society ISOC France. Stefano Trumpi, Società Internet. And Joan Francesc Gras, ISOC Catalan, the Catalan chapter. So, Sébastien. And Stefano. They have survived.
Let's see.
So this is a word of warning. If you stick around too much, you'll end up either on the board or on the GAC. Well, Judith, you're yet to join as an at-large structure with an organization, so...
Yes, actually, as a member of the board, at the interview of the nominations committee, I was asked, outside of the ICANN board, if there was one SO you feel affiliated to, which one would it be? And my answer was ALAC. I would like to share with you is this. The composition of the board, where the NOMCOM, the appointees of the NOMCOM are, by heart and spirit, the at-large community. And we applaud the energy and the power that you bring to ICANN, because true power comes from the heart. It's energy. And ALAC is pure, unadulterated energy to ALAC. Thank you.
Thank you, Judith. So we'll have RALO now. So a lot of people actually in RALO, because that region is quite populous. The first region, actually, yes, the largest region now. So, and it was the largest region when it started, and it keeps on being the largest region. They grow at a very fast pace. So, Christian Hess, Association Cora Recente de Chero Informatico. Sorry, my Spanish is absolutely dreadful. Really sorry. Carlos Aguirre, I got that. No, wait, we have to have the full list first. Asociación Grupo de Estudio e Investigación, Academia en Derecho Económica y Negocios de la Sociedad de la Información. I trust you, Carlos, to put me in trouble on this one. Eric Ariarte Ahon, Alfaredi, see? Sergio Salinas Porto, Asociación Única de Chatter Usuarios de Internet e E-Commerce. Lance Hines, DevNet. Melody Palmer, ICT 4D Jamaica. Matías Altamira, Instituto Iberoamericano de Investigación para la Sociedad de la Información. Sebastián Belagamba, Internet Society Argentina. James Corbin, Internet Society Barbados, Ana Sanchez, Internet Society Ecuador, Vladimir Davalos, JCI Ecuador, again, Alejandro Pisanti, Sociedad Internet de Mexico, Carlos Samuels, the University of West Indies, and Dev Anand Tilak Singh, Trinidad and Tobago Computer Society, TCCS. So, well done. And so we'll start with the one who gave me the most trouble, Carlos. Sergio Salinas Porto, hombre. Carlton Samuels. Devanand Tilak Singh. And over to the photo slide.
Nice smile. Show me your certificate there. Okay, all right, there we go. Right in the camera. Thank you.
Okay, and that's the end. Oh no, there is no RALO, isn't there? Oh, not RALO. Let's have a look. Right, so we have in the RALO, North American Regional at-Large Organization, there's quite a few that have survived. Randy J. Glass, America at Large, INC. Gareth Sherman, Telecommunications Canada. Darlene Thompson, NCAP. Michael Miranda, Association for Community Networking, AFCN. Dharma Daly, EFN. Louis Houle, ISOC Quebec. Evan Leibovich, the Canadian Association for Open Source, CLU. Robert Guerra from Privatera. Seth Reis, Intellectual Property and Technology Section, Hawaii State Bar Association. Eduardo Diaz, Internet Society Puerto Rico, and a couple of unaffiliated members as well, the individual members that are allowed in RALO, and that's Alan Greenberg and Wendy Seltzer. So, we'll start with Randy Glass. Gareth Sherman. Not you yet, darling. Darlene Thompson, there you go. Louis Houle. Evan Leibovich. Seth Reis. Eduardo Diaz. And Alan Greenberg.
Show me your paper.
Well, let's look. Now we're going to start with certificates for everyone else in the room.
Everybody. Now the
How many
ice
hours do we have? No, they're not edible, no, unfortunately. Thank you very much to all of the people who have come. We now have a cake that is going to arrive and we'll be able to share it. Well done.
Okay, go ahead, get this.
This is Canada, that's legal now, you know. I love you.
Very quickly. Very quickly, I want to acknowledge Glenn McKnight, who is responsible for 135% of this event.
Bravo!
And Glenn is going to be introducing the music and dancers. Thank you.
Those who are not familiar with Métis culture, this will be a great opportunity to learn that in Canada we are a blend of cultures. We are proud of our Métis heritage. And behind you, if you stand up, you'll see our performers. They're going to start now. We have 3 performers, Ariel, Alicia, and Jenny, and we're very pleased for them to start their music now. Thank you.